Hi guys, my name is Mike Leyland. I'm here to share with you my Coetail final project. I've spent the last several months of my life putting to use some of the knowledge that we've learned throughout our Coetail course. It's been a great experience and I look forward to sharing this video with you. Let me give you some context first. I'm a school librarian in Qingdao, China. My school is an IB school and I'm a whole school librarian for grades K to 12. China can be a great place to live, but one of the great challenges of working and living here is the censorship on the internet, and that was a great challenge for me throughout this project, as it was throughout most of the course. While it's a challenge for me as an expat, the Chinese people have done just well adapting to the censorship. They've created their own company and kind of their own world, and they're doing just fine. So what are badges? I'll give you a definition from the MacArthur Foundation because I think it's pretty good. Digital badges are an assessment and credentialing mechanism that is housed and managed online. Badges are designed to make visible and validate learning in both formal and informal settings. They hold the potential to help transform where and how learning is valued. So the prep work for this badging unit was pretty intense. I had to make my own badges using a Canva. I think Image Foo was one of them. I wanted to make some cool badges that would get the kids interested in checking out new genres. I think overall I ended up making like 10. And then I downloaded some from Teacher Pay Teachers. Then around January I started to market the competition or unit, and I started to hang up posters around the library and just kind of chatted with kids as they walked by and said, what do you think? I put those library ninjas up there to get them excited. And then I had to organize some of the books by genre just to give kids an easier selection. So I ended up having to choose a platform, which is key in any sort of badging project. The one you're looking at right now is actually from Badgelist, which is a platform I didn't end up using because it was a little obstructed here in China. But I actually like their platform a little bit better than the one I ended up having to use. But this is key. This is key in finding the right platform. Somebody from my PLN suggested that Class Dojo has badges among many other things. I felt obligated to go with Badgecraft because it wasn't obstructed here, but I'll get onto that a little later in the video. And then the other thing I had to do was give students options to report back or share on what they read, and what you're looking at right there is Justin looking at, I think there was something like 90 possibilities that they could choose from. Then finally I took this fun course from Amplified Education. It just kind of gave me a basic foundation to build on after some of the Coetail readings in course 4. It was like $20 and it was just like a you do it yourself at your own pace course. And I highly recommend it. I mean, it gave me a good idea of things I should do and shouldn't do. So after all the hours of organization and things, I needed to make a video, which is what you're watching now. I knew that the kids would need a video or tutorial on getting their Badgecraft account set up. And so I had been talking to teachers and kids about the digital badges and the reading. I called it a reading to win competition. But now I actually had to put it into action, and the first thing that I had to do was get the kids to just get on the platform. And I needed to get them on the platform, and I didn't want it to be a battle. So I was really hoping that this video would kind of walk them through it step by step, and that they'd be comfortable with it. But it didn't, the video didn't actually help them that much in the end. I didn't realize that the students really didn't use their student accounts that often, and they weren't actually all that comfortable even logging into their email, let alone verifying an email address. It was kind of a wake-up call for me to kind of know my students better.
Same platform.
I need to
Oh.
Okay, so those are two different things. Okay, so the first question is, can you get into Office 365?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay, so how many of you cannot get into Office 365?
But everybody did get eventually logged in after the email troubles, and this is what they were looking at. I thought you should know what the badges were and what their screens looked like. And to submit their work, this is what they had to do. They had to pick a badge from what you just saw, and then they had to start a quest. And evidence is key in badging, and you could submit your evidence either by writing in the text there or clicking on the upload file. So a lot of kids needed help with just the steps of that, and it was a little frustrating for some of them. I don't think the kids ever really truly felt comfortable submitting their evidence or work on the platform, and that was one of the biggest problems in the project, and I can kind of understand why. It was just kind of, they were like, is this worth it? I'm not getting a grade, it's not fun. I was able to kind of trudge through it with some kids, but eventually I just said, this isn't working, let's try something different. And so rather than beat the tech to death and beat the badging platform to death, I just said, all right, we can do physical badges. If you want the badge that you see on the computer screen, submit your work to me, and I'll print off the badge, and you can just, collect your badges on a piece of paper. And the kids got thrilled about that. They were happy to do that. I think that the platform just, some kids, there's Kevin, he enjoyed being in the computer and submitting his work. And like anything with a library, 3 or 4 kids were really into the idea of the digital badges. So I had kids on board either with the physical badges or the digital badges. It was really just all about the badges and reading at this point. Here's a clip of kids still working on the digital badging.
Then click on it. Hold on, mister. Then you would start the quest. So to start, this is important too, you need to know this too. So start the quest. And then that means you're gonna read a non-fiction book, right?
Yeah, already. And then I have an opportunity.
Sorry? Yeah, anyone. And then you have to...
So you can see it was a little frustrating and troublesome navigating that platform. But I had kids on board and we were ready to go. So I showed kids that video you just watched to get everybody kind of amped and excited for the Reading to Win competition, and I started to get some kids to read books and share some of their thoughts with me about what they were reading, and it's really started to come together in that sense. It was cool to see kids explore voluntarily and do it for fun, and it was fun to see kids explore a wide variety of genres. And I really enjoyed getting feedback from kids and just kind of talking about books and seeing how they really felt, because a lot of kids can do kind of fake reading, but if you get kids talking about books, then you can really see what they've read and what they've learned, and you can kind of encourage them to look a little deeper, or maybe you could try this, maybe you could write a letter to the character like this guy did. The options and the avenues that badging provided were pretty cool. I mean, we got a lot of artistic feedback from kids in grade 3. So I had been doing a lot of the work with grade 4, and then I was going to launch with grade 3, and I showed them the video that you watched a couple of minutes ago, and they were super pumped. And it was cool with grade 3 I didn't even waste any time looking at the badging platform. We were just going to go with the physical badges because I knew if grade 4 had trouble with the digital badging platform, then grade 3 was going to have a tough time too. So they were excited to read books and respond and share, and they were all about the physical badges. And then we started to take sticky notes and give feedback anonymously to the different classes, and that's when things really started to pick up. Kids were looking forward to coming to see, what kind of post-its they got, and what recommendations they got from their peers, and they really started to kind of care more, I think, about what they were saying, because you can get away with kind of fabricating things with a teacher, but you're not going to get away with it from another student. So they really loved giving feedback. And here's some feedback from some of the students who participated in the project to share their thoughts.
I think it's really good because it's making people to read books and getting them into the book with them knowing, and then write reflection. They reflect.
Cool, thanks. Can you think of anything that would have made it better for kids or for you?
Because reading books was really good, and I think because some of the people cannot do like read that much book and concentrate to the same book because they have homeworks and a lot of stuff.
Not enough time?
Yeah, so this is kind of making them squeeze out time and then
Yeah.
give them too late to sleep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did you learn anything about yourself or about anything? Did you learn anything while doing the badges or looking at new badges or anything?
Not really, because when I'm looking at these badges, I can, like, biography, I can learn about other people. I think it's really good for my learning.
Cool. Yesterday you were able to give some feedback to the grade 3 students. What do you think about the whole idea of you giving feedback to other kids?
Because they give really big effort too and read that book to get badges. But just writing these reflections, they're just having grammar wrong,
Yeah, I saw that.
spellings. But they have a good job too. They did a good job.
Cool. First of all, what do you think about the idea of the digital badges?
It's actually a really good idea. So if you read books, and then if you win the contest, you get the Amazon gift card, and then just by reading books, you can get even more books, which is actually a good thing. So,
cool. What do you think could have made I think a lot of people had trouble online, with getting in the badge
yeah,
crap.
that's true. So maybe next time you should do something on maybe send it to the parents.
Yeah.
They may get the more information and then understand it, because the kids are kind of what does that word mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? How do we get the badges? How do we
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Get the parents on board.
And if I think maybe are you sending the whole QS children, or are you going one by one? That's taking kind of a long time. So maybe you could just do the whole QAIS.
That's a good idea. Thanks.
And then even if the teachers get it, that's fine too.
That's a good idea. Thanks, Harmon.
Yeah.
One more question. Yes, when you gave, what did you think about giving feedback to the grade 3 kids with the post-it notes yesterday for their badge work?
Then I'd say I don't want to hurt anyone, but a lot of their spellings are kind of getting better than they used to be.
Yeah.
Like I saw Cecilia's one here. She's like had like a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah.
And borrow is B-O-R-O. And then here she has like a better one.
Yeah.
And then it's way better. She knows how to spell the words. It's
So
getting better.
there's a
and better.
variety, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
I don't know. So Badgecraft is like a reading.
Badgecraft was just where we could kids could get back, submit reflections on books, and then earn badges. Like there are so many other different kinds of badging platforms we can use. That was just the one that I decided to pick for us. I'm thinking now it might be good to do for summer reading, because then kids can just put which books they want to get, and I don't know. Just something I'm thinking about,
And what about Badgecraft going a little more attractive?
Yeah, so
Maybe we should read different books and then do different questions.
I
and
see.
Try to first time you might the first batch you might want to do an easy question, but afterwards you might want to just make it more harder.
Cool. But what do you think about the badges? What was it been like for you?
It is very fun. You get to do all sorts of stuff with books, and you get to show your knowledge about the book.
How do you get to show your knowledge?
You get to draw. You get to make covers. You get to write letters to the characters in the book.
What do you think could make it better?
Maybe every time we go to the library, maybe when we first came to the library, people will share, each person will share the badges that they've earned last time, and tell what did they do for the badges.
To share it with other people. That's a good idea.
I just wanted to share some of my final thoughts with you face to face. Give you a little bit some feedback about my experience with the badging. I remember when we read about badging in course 4, and I thought it was pretty cool, pretty interesting. They say it's the future of learning because kids can control what their own direction, I guess, in a sense, and control the pace and content. Overall, I didn't think the project was transformative, and whether or not that had to do with my delivery or just the nature of digital badges, I think it could have been a combination of things. I see it working in other, maybe other content areas. I did it solely in the library, and it probably would have worked better connected to a subject. But I can see maybe doing it for summer reading or something. But yeah, overall, it was good fun. I think the kids, explored new books, and they explored different ways on sharing how they read those books, and that was probably the best part of the project. And when they were giving feedback to each other, that was also, very good. But overall, I would say it didn't turn out the way I had expected it. With that being said, I did learn quite a bit about what to do and what not to do with regards to badges. I might give it a shot, I think, with summer reading somewhere down the future. I think the platform that's chosen is pretty important. And here in China, with all the censorship that takes place here, I'm not so sure that there are any platforms that would work, to be honest. But maybe open badges would be a way to go. I'm not sure. If you have suggestions or thoughts, I'd